doesn't even know what a mortgage is. He's like, we don't learn that in school. But he can tell you what a pansexual is.
Speak out. You're racist.
All right, here we go, baby. We're back. Oh boy, everything is going away. Money, loyalty, all of it. So let's start going through some fucking news before we get into the deep dark conversations. Anyway, so we're aware of the tariffs. We're aware of Canada having issues trying to act like they're going to be men now and fight back. The liberal side, at least. And then we've got like Australia and other countries speaking out against the tariffs. You know, we'll just go straight to the tariffs. Actually, we'll just start this conversation with the bullshit. So here's Senator Rand Paul, who I particularly like. He says tariffs are taxes, and Americans are paying the price. For 5,000 hikes on cars to $10,000 more for a new home and 70 cents per gallon of gas. Working families can't afford this. It's time to terminate the Trump tariffs before it's too late. I mean, this is the thing I don't like about this shit. The left is using this as like he doesn't know what he's doing, or he wasn't aware this was going to happen if this happened, if he put on these tariffs. But literally on live fucking television, before all this happened, he said that there was going to be hurt in the beginning. He said that. So he already knew this was going to happen. So technically, we all should already knew this was going to happen. He's fairly true to his fucking word, and clearly he knows what he's talking about. So I think this whole thing was a plot to like call his bluff kind of thing. Just showing who's got the bigger dick kind of thing, which, you know, isn't always great to run off of, isn't always great to get in possible trade wars because you want to show off your cock. But I think in all reality, these countries have been screwing us with tariffs. You know, we could be charging them a lot more tariffs just as much as they charge us, or equal to or more, just because we tend to do more of the making more of the products, and or not necessarily needing the products, or we could just be having it made here instead of made over there, and you know, all these things. And I know that takes time. We got to wait warehouses and get the infrastructure for these things to happen, and it could take years. So in a sense, that was kind of a quick jump, but I think he's definitely relying on them wanting to make a deal with us because we are the most important country to be a partner with. You know, we have the biggest military. You know, we are the richest country in the world. It's like, I mean, come on. In all reality, nobody can compete with us on any level when it comes in these things. And they need us a lot more than we need them. So he's definitely like calling bluff, but knowing how this is going to work out eventually. I think it was Vietnam has just he was on the phone with Vietnam, and they just are trying to strike a deal. Possible talks of dropping their tariffs completely against us, and so Nike can keep on making its shoes in sweatshops. But yeah, so it's all going to work out in the end. It is hurting right now. You know, the Dow went down ridiculous amount of points. Stocks are crashing, things all over. So it could happen sooner than later. It could still happen later. You know, Canada's still trying to be this tough guy. You know, a week ago, he's, you know, when this first happened, he said, oh, you know, made a post talking about, oh, I just talked to Trump and this and that. And now he's coming back. I guess there's people in his ear saying now he's trying to be tough again, and say, that, you know, they're going to not work with us anymore. We need, they need us more than we need them. So in all reality, she's going to hurt them. Any country that tries to stop working with us, it's just going to hurt them in general, especially China. You know, China has threatened 34% tariff on top of the one that they already have against us. So that's going to cause issues there. But at the same time, like I said, their economy is nothing without us. Nothing. So anyway, basically, they all need us more than we need them. So, like I said, there's already countries giving in. Canada's trying to be tough again, even though they agreed to drop the tariffs. As long as Trump agreed to drop the tariffs, but then I don't know what happened with that. So anyway, we'll just go through the news now, because the tariff thing is just, you just wait and see what's going to happen. I guarantee you everything's going to go up. Now, I do agree with the people who don't like the tariff idea, because it could lead to more higher prices for us and things like that in the short term. And we don't want to be taxed anymore. We don't need any of that shit. So I get the libertarian side of things. But then I also agree that we've been getting fucked, and we support everybody with our military and all this other shit. So pay us our fucking dues at this point. Like, we get stepped on, and we're not a joke anymore. Like, it's time to cut that shit out. Anyway, going through news. Mark Carney, he's just like a stand-in because Trudeau resigned as prime minister, so that they haven't had the election yet. Pierre Poilievre, whatever the fuck his name is the conservative one running, who's also speaking out against Trump now too. But I guess if you feel like your country's being attacked, I guess there's a reason for it. But at the same time, it's kind of like that dude is pro-Trump. He understands what he's doing. So we'll see. So anyway, this is Carney. I guess Canada's trying to love him, or they're acting like Canada loves him. So he just recently posted this yesterday. CBC Radio Canada's pillar for our Canadian identity. We're going to strengthen our public broadcaster with more long-term funding and modernized mandate to deliver more local news and keep Canadians better informed during emergencies. Isn't that the one that's like strictly state media, where it's just the leftist propaganda bullshit, where they kind of only made that the only news source that they were allowed to have? And he's just telling them to their face that they're going to fund that even harder. I thought you guys didn't like that shit. Is this your guy or what? Like, what are you doing up there? And this is the bullshit. This is why we like, if we don't agree with the country's standards or whatever, or whatever the country has going on in their everyday fucking non-American lives, if we don't agree with them, we don't have to do trade with them. We can be harder on them. You know what I'm saying? Because we technically don't need anybody as much as they need us. Let's be realistic here. And I've already said that, and I'm going to say it 100 times more probably. Moving on, a federal judge has just ordered the return of a man previously ruled to be a member of MS-13 from El Salvador by Monday at taxpayers' expense. So apparently all these gang members that Trump is deporting to El Salvador prison, which is fucking great. Obviously, the main idea is to get the certified gang leaders and things sent there immediately. People are crying about due process. They're here illegally. Crime number one. And two, if they're known affiliates of MS-13 gang, it's on paper. Time to go. Send them to the hardest place ever. We are talking about people who have literally skinned people alive, pulled organs out of their body while they're killing them, chopped arms off, raped women, cut heads off, killed entire families, completely ruthless people. Okay. An MS-13 gang member actually chopped up a Uber Eats driver 2 years ago, whatever, if you remember that. I know I talked about that story in the United States. So yeah, we're good with all that. I don't give a fuck about that. Now, apparently this guy, if it was an innocent guy and he was a citizen, he accidentally got taken for whatever reason down to El Salvador. That's what this whole story is this guy who was not actually a bad guy or whatever, not actually legal or whatever the case was, and he accidentally got sent down to El Salvador. Now, if it's absolutely right and he was this innocent guy, bring him back home immediately. Our bad. Maybe do something for the family. But if he's a known gang leader and he's only here on like a visa or whatever, goodbye. Maybe if not the El Salvador prison, somewhere else out of the country. But if he really is a part of this ruthless gang, that's not like little MS-13 kids in America who trying to pretend like they're Bloods and Crips in certain areas, but there's none of that kind of gang warfare. Like MS-13, like they're all ruthless. You don't just become a MS-13 gang member just because you want to be cool and wear the colors or whatever. It's one of those things that's like, these dudes are actual fucking terrible people. Don't want them here. So we'll see how that goes. What else we got going on here? This is from the PA GOP. PA Senate passes bill requiring DAs to report criminal illegal immigrants. Pennsylvania State Senate has approved Senate Bill 471, mandating that district attorneys notify ICE when encountering criminal defendants illegally in the U.S. Josh Pirro and Democrats oppose. Oh, great. Of course they do. The bill, they should explain why they're more concerned about shielding criminal illegal immigrants than protecting law-abiding Pennsylvanians. And that's because they're Democrats. So this is from one of the Krasentine Fag brothers, Democrats and paid influencers, and they literally they post the most ridiculous shit so people can comment on their shit because they get paid for how many people interact with their posts. That's what they're all about. But now this one kind of gets to me a little bit, and I don't know what the deal is with this yet. So Trump has refused to attend a dignified transfer of the 4 American soldiers who died in Lithuania. He will attend a live golf event this evening in Florida instead. Now, I don't like this guy, but apparently he really did do this. And he's really, I don't even know what happened with these guys in Lithuania. I honestly didn't even look at the story because why do we have soldiers in Lithuania? I don't even know what's going on there. How would a soldier die in Lithuania? But whatever the case is in general, if they're American soldiers, as a president, he should fucking be there. I don't like that. I don't know what that's about. For all I know, they're not actually American citizens or something. I don't know, but well, no, I guess they would have to be, huh? Yeah, I don't know. If that's the case, then I don't agree with that at all. I think he should. It doesn't matter what kind of golfing events going on. Chilling with the Saudis, who did help fund the 9/11 attack, and we still do business with them, and that's his business side that I don't like. But if their soldiers are coming home and they're in caskets, you should fucking be there. It is what it is. Violent leftist protesters at UC Davis attacked and destroyed an event table set up by TPUSA. Police stood by and did nothing as the protesters destroyed and stole everything. So that's because the left are allowed to do whatever they want. And if you're a police officer and you're watching this, I really hope that's not like that around here. I don't respect that at all. It's Officer Tatum. He's a conservative influencer, but he's a police officer. Oh yeah.
Come on, please get in there. Get in there.
Yeah, they're doing nothing. The police are just like walking. Like they're literally destroying somebody else's property. And Officer Tatum, like he's the cop. Like support your fucking fellow brother. Wow. Just watch them destroy people's shit. Wow. What is up with that, man? The left can do whatever they want, and they still cry victim. They always still cry victim. Just like all this trans shit and race shit. It's all fucking bullshit. They can just walk around and do whatever the fuck they want. They're so manipulated by the nonsense. And that's another thing. I can get into that with my own county with this whole trans day visibility bullshit they had going on out here. They make all these posts on the Montgomery County page. I'm Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. That's where I live. So we're super blue still. I mean, Pennsylvania, Trump won Pennsylvania. There's still a lot of red here. I see mostly red in my personal life, but clearly we keep on voting in these Democrats. Another one just got a Senate seat or whatever out in Lancaster, which is like Amishville, which is just crazy. They keep on winning locally. That's going to affect us more so than anything. So we have to watch that, or else Pennsylvania is going to become fucking California. But our county just took another $132 million from the Department of Education. The Commissioner Neal, whatever the hell his name is, what he's under on Instagram, just flaunting this trans day shit and that we're always here for inclusive. They're constantly still posting about DEI, all these unpopular things that they lost on in the presidential election. They're quadrupling down in Montgomery County. And as I said, the more recent deal was this Department of Education deal, clearly failing. We voted out Department of Education. When we voted for Trump, we wanted it gone. And here they are in our faces taking $132 million from them to keep on funding schools with DEI, gender nonsense, and everything else. All these other DEI programs and bullshit, because the Department of Education doesn't actually educate children. It has nothing to do with academics whatsoever, obviously. And that the whole myth of like losing funding for students and all that's all a myth, and that's already been busted. But they're still pretending that this is going to help students by taking millions of dollars from the Department of Education, who was like. We have to smarten up here in Pennsylvania. We have to do what we have to do. We have to vote, even with this small special elections. And I think Republicans need to get a better word out there. Because one thing Democrats have is these fucking young kids that are willing to do whatever for them. And whether they're paying them or not, they are on top of every little election. They are. I'll give them that. But we can't allow that to happen. Anyway, New York City Mayor Eric Adams has left the Democratic Party. Interesting. I just seen him on a podcast recently when he was talking about it. I think it might have been Andrew Schultz. I seen a clip of him talking, or I listened a little bit where he was talking about the deep state and stuff, and he said like it absolutely exists. And he said that once he started speaking out against the immigrants, that his party turned on him, and he thinks that's what the whole thing was with him with the I forget whatever when they raided his office, and I forget what the situation was, but basically he was under attack by the deep state, and he says basically to pretend like they're in a deep state, like you're obviously out of your mind. You're lying to somebody. You're lying to yourself, right? So interesting. So now another person leaves the Democratic Party. Interesting. Another black person. It's not the first black person to leave the Democratic Party, which is odd. I thought they were the best for them. Georgia House Democrats walk out of the chamber en masse in protest of a Republican-backed bill to block taxpayer funds are being used to pay for gender-affirming care for state prison inmates, and they're mad about it. They're mad about it. Is this just a video of them walking out?
I'm sorry.
I'm not saying what it's for. They're so cool for walking out on that. Look how cool they are.
But I figured the leader walk, I can walk with her. Come on, man. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
6 people clapping, walking, relax. Thank you. We want kids to get chopped up. We want prison inmates to get chopped up. Anyway, here's a leftist tweet here. France just punched Trump in the wallet. Macron announces a pause on all recent and future investments in the U.S. Aw, not France.
And it's all the work that was important for us to
Important.
meet as soon as
Dick out of your
possible
mouth,
after
Macron.
last night's announcements by President Trump, which are a shock for international trade, not just for the European Union, France, but fundamentally for the smooth functioning of trade. What is important, and it's all the work that needs to be done per sector, is that upcoming investments or the investments announced in recent weeks are temporarily suspended until things are clarified with the United States.
Yeah, we don't care. And here's Carney. In response to Trump's tariffs on our auto sector, Canada will impose a 25% tariff on all U.S. vehicle imports that do not comply with our free trade agreement. All revenues from these tariffs will be used to support our Canadian auto workers and their industry. Oh, shut the fuck up. 402 acres purchased to build an Islamic city that will govern itself in the heart of Texas. Is this fucking real? Okay.
402 acres of beautiful scenery. Welcome to the future of living. Welcome to Epic City. Nestled in the heart of Josephine, Texas. It is about 20 miles and 20 minutes from Epic.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Welcome to Epic 2.0. Epic City is more than just a neighborhood. It's a way of life, a meticulously designed community that brings Islam to the forefront, a community that blends with nature, crafted to elevate your living experience. With single-family homes, multi-family townhomes and apartments, senior living, and in the heart a mosque and a school.
Oh, God. Bro, I'm good. We're good with that. Texas, why would Abbott allow that? Come on, man. Fucking hot, man.
402 acres of beauty.
We don't want to hear that anymore. Oh, God. I mean, come on. Wisconsin approves constitutional amendment enshrining voter ID requirement into law. Awesome. Good job, Wisconsin. The Islamic. Why? What? See, Well, we're worried about Jews. We have Islam making its own cities. And you know what? I think I'm about done here. Yeah. So, I mean, Elon stepping down from Doge. He's got to go back to his companies because the left are attacking everything. I still wouldn't have backed down, but maybe that's why he's doing it. Maybe not. But Doge is still going to stick around. Wanted to add that because things are going to start looking up. Okay, don't freak out. But oh god, the whole city, huh? All right, guys, love you.